Welcome to the University of the Ozarks Podcast. I'm your host, Nate, and I'm here today with current Ozarks student Phoenix Martin. Hi, Phoenix. How you doing today?
I'm doing good.
Good.
Glad to be here.
Good. I'm happy to have you here. So let's dive right in. Can you tell me a little bit about your background, where you're from, and where you grew up?
So I actually grew up right across the river here in Scranton, Arkansas. So my house is actually about 15 minutes away from here, but I do live on campus.
Okay.
That's part of the Frontier Scholarship that I got, and I'm so glad that I do live on campus.
Okay. So can you explain a little bit more about the Frontier Scholarship? How does that work?
So my guidance counselor at high school helped me apply for it, and it is a scholarship for local students that you have to submit an essay for, then you get interviewed for, like a job interview.
Okay.
It's like so I fill out an application, and it's based on like income and grades and some other factors. But the idea of it is it takes away the stress of what debt and student loans would be. And I paid $2,500 a year.
Wow.
So for 4 years, I'm going to graduate with $10,000 that I can pay directly out of my bank account and not have to have any loans at all. So that's incredible that I get a 4-year degree and I'm going to be debt free.
That's amazing. And was that the motivating factor for Ozarks, or were there other reasons as to why you decided to come to the University of Ozarks?
So I was originally looking at several schools around the area. So I looked at Harding, John Brown, and Ozarks, and I had applied to Conway. I've honestly forgot the name of the schools, and U of A, but I never toured them. I did tour John Brown and I toured Harding. I went to Harding first, and it just didn't feel right. There was something about it. It just didn't fit with me. It didn't work.
Click.
I was like, I don't really like this. And so then I went to John Brown and actually stayed a weekend there, part of a scholarship program that they were doing, offering like a scholarship competition. Yeah. And I participated in that. I had a really great time staying there. I loved the campus. I really liked everything, but it was really expensive and it still just didn't quite fit. It didn't really feel right. But on Ozarks, I've met so many people. I took a tour here with Professor Edens. She's over the communications department, and she teaches media production and all kinds of stuff like that. And she took me through the media department. She took me through the TV studio and like actually showed me the cameras and let me get hands-on. And like just for this little 2-hour tour, I got to actually learn some stuff on cameras. And that was a huge motivating factor because I've always loved film and cinema. Yeah. And so my dream would be to be in media production somehow, to be involved in films, short films, documentaries, communications, storytelling. And so that really was a big motivating factor. Like I felt like I had enough importance that, these staff members were really willing to give their time to show me around and help me out. And Ozarks was so personable. Like it was very personal. Yeah. Ozarks is small. Ozarks is close to home. I like that. The people were amazing. I really liked the degree programs, and I didn't really understand the lens program until later on. It was the summer. I hadn't committed to Ozarks yet. Okay. I had applied. I had gotten the Frontier Scholarship, and all I had to do was commit. It was between Ozarks or John Brown. And
the Frontier Scholarship would have worked for either of the...
No, the Frontier Scholarship is only offered to the University of the Ozarks. Okay. It's a program through them.
And you were down to the Ozarks and John Brown.
I had written up lists. I'm comparing the two, and I'm like, I really don't know, because I really like the study abroad opportunities that John Brown had. And then I came and talked to Nicole England, the director of study abroad and the foreign exchange program here at Ozarks. And Ozarks offered like incredible opportunities. And I had no idea that was even possible. Like study abroad is a huge thing for this school. And I didn't think that would even be possible with a school this small. Yeah. But they really support study abroad. She was amazing. She was another one of the first people I met on campus. And again, she took time to sit down. It was just one day in the summer, and she met me up here at Walker Hall. We sat and she told me about the study abroad. I could go to all these different schools.
Yeah.
And there is scholarships and funding. It's the students to have experiences or go on trips.
Yeah.
And they can apply for it. It's a student enrichment fund is what it's called.
Okay. Have you been a part of the Student Enrichment Fund? Have you?
Not yet.
Okay.
I haven't applied yet.
Okay.
So I'm thinking about, I'm still thinking about where I want to go, but that will probably be in the next year or so that I'll actually go. I might apply next semester.
Yeah.
But I haven't decided on where I'm going yet. But that was probably the tipping point, was study abroad. I really wanted to travel because I've never really been anywhere. You asked about my background.
Yeah.
So from small town Scranton, Arkansas, population 222 until they updated the sign like 2 months ago. Now we have like 300 and something people.
Uh-oh. Getting big.
Yeah, I know. And I moved out. So it's like, man,
Now they got to update the sign again.
I know.
Ugh.
But
From this small town, you're in a place where you're able to see something more than where you've been raised for all of your life in Scranton.
I'm very ashamed to admit it, but I honestly didn't know that I'm really bad at geography anyways. So as far as I was concerned, the world ended at Canada and Mexico, and then Europe was somewhere over there.
Yeah.
You got like the North and South Pole.
Yeah, yeah.
And then that's about it. That's all I really knew. I never really considered, and I hear about countries on the news or whatever.
Yeah.
Never really paid that much attention to it.
And it's really expanded because you're getting to meet people from these other nations. So you're kind of putting a face to these places while here at the University of Ozarks.
Exactly. So it was a very transformative experience. So about a month in is when it really hit me.
Mm-hmm.
When I met some people. I met 2 students from Ukraine. And then I heard the stories of some people from different countries and how their government works rather than ours.
Yeah.
And really seeing how freedoms are different and how homes are different. It really impacted me. Like that was a moment that I really sat down and something inside me changed.
Yeah.
Because now these people made those places real. Their stories made these places real, and I realized how big the world is. It really changed something inside me. It just made me realize that not everything that I realized was correct.
Yeah.
You know?
And so you have a communications major, which definitely lines up with you wanting to tell stories and kind of share the experience of people on a global scale. What are the 2 minors that you have?
So I'm minoring in chemistry and I'm minoring in Spanish.
Okay. So with the Frontier Scholarship, it requires you to live on campus. Is that something that you are happy that it's requiring you to?
Yes. So I originally wasn't going to, if it wouldn't have been for the scholarship. It's like, well, I'm just going to live at home and then go to campus and just be a commuter. Being a commuter, I've talked to commuters. I've interviewed commuters. Their experience is so much different than mine.
Yeah.
I get to be on campus rather than, as a commuter, I would most likely have shown up. I go to my classes. When classes are done, I go home, do homework. And then I'm not really on campus as much. Since I live on campus, I actually live with the people I go to school with. I live with my peers. I live with my friends. I get to live on my own, even though I'm really close to home.
Yeah.
Being across the river, just a little ways away, living on your own is a totally different experience. And I've really gotten to know myself. I've gotten to grow as a person. And being here on campus lets me be involved with events. Whether I go to very many events or not, that's okay. I'm here. I go to the CAF. I see people. My social life is a bigger part of my daily routine. I use the campus facilities. Yeah. I study here. I use the different places. I just like being here, like in a way that I wouldn't have got if I go home.
Yeah.
You know, I wouldn't be here for the events. I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be involved. I wouldn't be as involved.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm really glad that it actually pulled me out of my initial comfort zone and put me here, because I probably would have never met all these incredible people. I wouldn't have as much of a connection with my professors or my classmates if I'm not here. You know, it would just be harder to be involved in the community.
Can we dive a little bit more into your experience with your professors and the faculty? Because you even said from the first time you visited here that right away the faculty was very open and having conversations with you like a peer. Like, what is the relationship between students and leadership here like?
So my story's gonna start in high school. I was very fortunate to have incredible teachers growing up. Like, all of my teachers were people that I looked up to as mentors, and I looked up to as people.
Yeah.
And they supported me on a personal level, and they're very committed to their subject matter and what they were teaching, and they really believed in teaching.
Yeah.
Coming to Ozarks has been the exact same experience. And I really wish everyone would have had the high school experience that I did, and I really wish everyone would have the college experience that I do, because the professors are just like my teachers from high school. They know you on a personal level. They support you on a personal level, and they're so willing to help. It's very personal. The class sizes are small. I'm sure you've heard this from other people as well.
Yeah.
I've heard this from other people. The class sizes are small. It's more one-on-one interaction. And like I said, it's more personal.
Yeah.
They're more willing to go out of their way to help you because they know you.
Yeah.
They actually take their time. So Professor Edens and Russell Jones, just as an example, we put together an election show on November the 5th, and there was a lot of work that led up to that.
Yeah.
Months and months and months of planning, training, practices, preparations, making sure the equipment works.
Yeah.
They took so much time, so many late nights. They were there till 8, 9, 10 p.m. many, many times to make this production come together. And it was not for a class. It was for extracurricular.
That's
for
cool.
Students who wanted to do it. They wanted to facilitate a place where students could get these experiences. It's this involved teaching, and I'm so thankful for it. And I'm so thankful to every professor that I've had. I mean, getting to know their stories has been impactful and inspiring too. And my professors are people that I can look up to and have a conversation with, but look up to as a person, be able to have a connection with and learn from. I mean, more than just the actual course material, but actually learn from them as who, like, how to be a better person, as role models, you know?
Yeah. And since it's a small university, have you been able to meet the president at all?
Yes, that is part of the Frontier Scholarship.
Okay.
I was just getting to that, actually.
Oh, I jumped ahead.
Oh, no, perfect timing.
Good.
So I really urge anyone who comes to Ozarks to meet Rich. He has a freshman dinner with all the freshmen. So each freshman class they're assigned an orientation class, and that class will have a president's dinner. And it's a conversation just at a big dinner table with the whole class, and you get to interact with the president. You get to ask him any questions you want. He asks you questions. He gets to know everyone. He really remembers people on their first name basis. I mean, he knows you. From one conversation, he'll remember your name.
Wow.
He really presses the importance of knowing the students and being in connection. And he really believes in the school's mission about how education changes lives. Because if you listen to him tell his story, education changed his life. It changed the whole outlook of everything he's accomplished. And he really believes that through education, it can transform people's lives. And he really means it. He really believes in that. Just by seeing the work that he does, what he believes in, he really supports the international students, and he's really involved on a personal level. And taking his class, he's changed my life.
So what excites you most about the path that you're on, about your future after being here at the University of the Ozarks?
The connections I've made, really. I mean, I've said it earlier. I think that the connections I made with people, the people I've met through Ozarks, the people, like the opportunities, it's not what you know, it's who you know. I know it's very cliche, but
true.
I've met so many people from around the world. These are places that I could go visit now because I know people there. Just by being here, you've already gotten connections across the entire world in whatever field that you're going into. So it's really the connections and the experience. That's what excites me the most.
All right, so you have a free weekend. You're able to do anything you want. What are you going to do in this area? What are you going to do?
free weekend. This should be an easy question because I'm always here.
Yeah, you don't have any work to do. You've got nothing you got to study. Like what are you going to plan for Saturday and Sunday for you to do because you have the weekend off?
I really like to go camping.
Mm-hmm.
I like to go hiking. I like to go running. I like to go out to eat because I love food.
Where's your favorite place to eat around here?
My favorite place to eat? Mostly in Russellville.
Okay.
Some of my favorite places to eat. You got Fat Daddy's Barbecue.
Okay.
It's incredible. There is New China. It's a Chinese buffet in Russellville as well. And then Pasta Grill is incredible.
Okay.
But we also discovered a new pasta restaurant, Italian restaurant in Ozark, and Roma Italian.
It's good?
Perfect.
Okay.
It's incredible.
Okay. I might have to try it out.
You should.
What's your favorite part of campus life? Like, how do you spend your free time? What are the perks about being here on campus?
Speaking of perks, we have a coffee shop called Campus Perks. I like going there. Really just socialization, because sometimes in between classes, a big part of my day is I just walk around and talk to people. I just pop into my professor's office hours if they're not busy and just talk to them. Maybe I learn something or just have a conversation. Or I go around, talk to friends that are just out studying. I really just like being on campus.
Yeah.
I really like just relaxing in my dorm. So right now I live in McLean, which is a big step up from the freshman dorms and stuff. It's great. Me and my roommate have our own rooms, and we share a living room. So me and him, we'll watch TV or we'll game or something.
That's cool.
Sometimes I go home for the weekends.
Yeah.
I work on like woodworking with Dad or something like that. Or we work on a little project.
That's cool.
Just do something fun. Maybe go four-wheeling.
That's super cool. That's super cool. You've told us a lot of memorable experiences you've had so far attending the University of Ozarks. Is there like another memorable experience that stands out in your head? If I were to ask like, hey, what's the most memorable experience you've had while here at the University of Ozarks? What would be your response?
The most memorable experience? I think one that really stuck with me was seeing some international students. We went driving one night and I just crammed as many people as we could fit into my truck. We had like a truck that should fit like 6 people. We had like 10 easily. Don't worry about it. It's perfectly safe. And we went and just like went to Taco Bell and we ate at Taco Bell. And then we went driving around. I was showing them just kind of my town from Scranton. There's not much there, just kind of driving around some roads way out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And we stopped and got out. And when we saw the stars, they had told me most of them were from cities where there's a lot of light pollution.
Yeah.
And in the wintertime, here, there's not much moisture in the air, so the stars are extremely clear.
Yeah.
And it was super dark that night. There was no light pollution at all. And they told me that they'd never seen so many stars in their entire life. And it was just one of those moments that we all just kind of stood there and like hugged and cried. It was just like, we're just looking up at the stars, and I've always loved the stars. I've always really appreciated them. If people get the chance, I highly suggest that they get away from Clarksville where there's not much light pollution.
Yeah. And
go out to where it's just completely dark and look at the stars, because it was just like a awe-inspiring moment, you know,
That's
that
awesome.
we all just kind of shared together. And it was just, I don't know. It's just one of the things that can't really put into words. It was just really cool.
That's super cool.
It was a really memorable experience for me. And I think that's something that'll stick with me forever.
That's cool. I like that a lot. I love stars. So I might have to drive out that way and just stare at the sky. All right. So this next round is speed round.
Okay.
So as quickly as you can.
Okay.
We're going to do our best. Here we go. Favorite food in the cafeteria?
The chicken. It's Wing Wednesday. Chicken wings and Wing Wednesday. There we go.
Wednesday.
Wing Wednesday. Everyone loves Wing Wednesday.
What's your go-to order at the coffee shop?
It's a strawberries and cream. I never really drank coffee. I never liked coffee before. Now I do a little bit after trying some Honduran and Nicaraguan coffee.
I'm noticing that Honduras is really opening up your worldview.
It really is.
Yeah, I like that. What's the name of your college mascot?
The eagle.
Okay. If your college experience had a theme song, what would it be?
Peace of Mind by Boston, because my freshman year was just, honestly, my freshman year was easier than 11th and 12th grade combined. like seriously, my high school, like the last few years of my high school was so difficult.
Yeah.
And then I got to college and everyone told me that it was going to be super hard. And I had so much free time. I basically didn't do anything 3 days a week, not including the weekends.
That's awesome.
I was like, this is easy. It's not like that for everyone, okay? I was a bit of a try hard my last couple of years. I transferred in some credits and stuff, so that helped a lot. But yeah, I just kind of took a back seat. Didn't really get engaged with extracurriculars. I just kind of took my time and just had fun, got to know people, and it was really great.
Peace of Mind by Boston. I like that a lot. Say you have your phone. Every other app is deleted except one app, and you need this one app to survive college life. What's the app?
Duolingo.
Duolingo?
I have a, hold on. I'm going to tell you what my streak is, and I'm not going to sacrifice that. Like, I will dive to the bottom of the ocean to rescue this phone for Duolingo. I have a 315-day streak on Duolingo.
You are so close to 1 year. You're 350, that's 50 days away from a year streak on Duolingo. That's incredible. Man, is that helping with your Spanish classes too?
It is. It's cool. Helping just like the repetitiveness of it. I just do a little bit every single day, and it helps whatever I learn in class, it helps it stick.
That's really cool. That's really cool. And if you had to describe your college experience using only emojis, what emojis would you use?
It depends on the day. So
okay.
Mondays, Tuesdays, generally this semester and last semester were my busiest. So skulls.
Just skulls.
Just skulls.
For Monday and Tuesday.
For Monday and Tuesday.
Okay.
Then you get to Thursday, and just like the calm like smiley face, just the basic generic smiley face.
Yeah. Okay.
And then Friday and Saturday is going to be the one that's just showing all the teeth, the biggest grin you can get, and going.
I love it. That's super fun. Well, that's all the questions that I have for you. It was super fun talking to you, getting to know you, Phoenix. I think you got a really cool story. For someone who's interested in storytelling, you yourself have a very, very cool story. So thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me here. It was a pleasure. I'm glad to be a part of it.
Thank you.